Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be working on this bounce house out in the heat. The heat, you guys. I feel like working outdoors should be like illegal. Is it just me? Or should working outdoors be illegal? It's just so unbearable. When I'm working outdoors, I can't think. It's just so much. And then I was not prepared to be on this bounce house while it was deflating. I fell. You guys gonna see. But there was a piece of like a hook that was at the top of the bounce house that I was able to slide my 260 in to make a ray point. There was also some of that on the side of the bounce house that I was able to use at ray points. And to be honest, the only hard part of the bounce house was this top part. Because I have to actually be on the bounce house to put it up. The other two parts that I did, or the side of the bounce house, let's say, I was able to do in the grass area and not be on the actual bounce house. So this garland that I'm putting up now, this is basically a 4-foot garland. I just tied them together. And for the top part, I wanted the garland to go around the around the piece that was going across the bounce house. So I added in a cluster. So I changed that from a 4-foot to now a 5-foot. And then you guys going to see me later on add some more. So you see I made another ray point on that left side right there. And I'm starting to inflate the bounce house again so I can know where I need to add some more clusters. So I wanted the garland to come all the way around to the front part, all the way on the right side. So I deflated the garland again. And I was out of breath, you guys. I had like at least 3, and this is where I fell. And I stayed down there. I did not get up. It was just no way I was going to win this fight. So I stayed in my place and I stayed right down. I finished what I needed to do. I grabbed my 5-inch balloons. I added on as much as I can in that moment. And that's what I did, you guys. I stayed right there and finished adding on my 5 inches. I added 2 more clusters. So right now, I believe altogether, I ended up using 8 clusters of balloon in that top portion. That cluster 6 balloons, I'm changing that to a cluster of 8 balloons, and then I end up adding a cluster of 6 balloons. So I end up using 8 clusters of balloons altogether. 7 of them, or 6 of them, will cluster 8 balloons with 6 balloons and 8 balloons, and then 2 clusters of 6 balloons. And I'm adding in some 5 inches, some more right here in the inside. Here I still had to have like some kind of balance trying to get these 5 inches on. Yeah, it was definitely a workout for that portion. And then I'm adding on some clear Bobo balloons. And those I used a 260 and I made a loop. That way I was able to easily place it on. I wasn't trying to tie those neck to neck. So those were easy to place on. And now, as I mentioned, that hoop that was on the side, I just used my 260 again and wrap that around and attach another cluster or mini garland. So these were 2 clusters together. So this, I think I had a little plan together in my head. I kind of did my own mock-up because when I'm working outdoors, this is my first time working on a bounce house. Oh, I don't think I mentioned it. This is my first time working on a bounce house, you guys. So I was excited, actually. I was hot, but excited. But I did do a little mock-up on my own because I wanted to know what to do. When I'm working in the heat, I can't think sometimes. So it was easier to work with these mini garlands because I was doing big blocks of color. That way I didn't have to really worry about color placement. So that was easy for me. So I didn't have to worry about that too much. I was really focusing on the shape. But yes, I used a attachment in the front, which was the H method with this clear gaff tape. I will leave that in the description box along with the colors. The colors, everything was pastel. They were stuffed with white on the outside. It was rose, spring lilac, and then pale blue. Oh, all Qualatex. So I use all Qualatex brand, and they were all stuffed with white on the outside. So they all were double stuffed. And here I'm just adding in, and I try to get as much info. I mean, I try to record as much as I can, but you guys, again, it was outside. My phone kept overheating, so there are times where I just couldn't get certain stuff. The phone just kept cutting out. So I tried to get as much as I can, but you know, my phone was overheating, so it wasn't much I can do. So here I'm adding in a cluster just to kind of wrap it around a little bit. So I added a cluster there. As you see, my 5 inches are already on because my phone probably overheated. And I'm just adding on my clear bubbles for that section. Now to the last section, which is the blue section. I'm making an H method directly on the bounce house. And I had to put my phone kind of far away. As you guys see on that right side, there was like some shade, so I try to put my phone in the shade so it won't overheat, but it still was overheating, child. But I have my mini garlands again. So these are 2 clusters in one that I'm using, which allows me to fill up the section pretty quickly. It actually helped a lot. It helped me move fast. I actually did this whole thing in probably about an hour and a half, yeah. So I wasn't out there too long. And this is me just trying to figure out my shape a little bit. I actually probably could have added some more, even though I ended up adding more than what I needed to. But I don't know. Not more than I needed to, but more than what the client paid. So there you guys see I used the staples. And I tied a 260 at the top. And I pushed that in the grass. And then I wrap the 260 around the balloons so the balloons don't move around. These I purchased from Amazon. I will try to link them as well. They were perfect. I know some people use the water bottle method where you tie a 260 on the top of the water bottle. So if you don't have that, you can also do that. But I don't like wasting stuff. Like, not the water bottle. I mean, you can probably drink it afterwards, but I don't know. I just purchased these. They wasn't that much, like $20 or $16. I don't know. I can't remember. It wasn't no more than $20. I don't think so. But that was what I can get, you guys. This was the final look. This is how everything came out, and I was so happy with the final look. So happy. Ooh, that was a hard turn. I usually record better than that. But this is how everything came out, you guys. Let me know what you think. How did I do for my first bounce house? And those were just some helium balloons I picked up on the way. And I thought it would be nice to have it on the other side just to fill in some space. But what you guys think? How she look?
I think it looks amazing.
Thank you, baby. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.